Yerp! Welcome back to the Joe Budden podcast. Hey, what's so sad? Now we here to talk about some shit real quick. You know who it is? It's K.A.Vuitton, K the Young Don. We back in this thing. So good he sleep with a cut up Patron. I want to We here to talk about the Joe Budden podcast and how they came back together. You know, they came back to defeat Thanos, and they back together. And we here to talk about it real quick. Now, what was the recent podcast episode where they reunited? Because at the time of recording this, they have dropped not episode, but another podcast where this is the second time they've all been together in this newer podcast, right? So hold on, let me check what the name is. I think it's Shaking the Tree. I just want to double check and make sure I am right. Yes, Shaking the Tree. Podcast episode 435. If you want to go listen to that, go listen to that. But if you don't want to sit there for 3 hours, you might as well stay here real quick and like and subscribe, because I did it so you wouldn't have to. Okay? So you might as well throw me a like and subscribe just to show me appreciation that you could be on your way and just listen to maybe a nice 10 to 15 minutes rather than sit there for 3 hours. Because you could use that 2 hours and 50 minutes on something else. You could learn a new life skill, learn a new language, learn how to drive a car, learn how to ride a bike, cure COVID, who knows? But anyways, we're here to talk about this shit. Now, I followed Joe Budden for a while. You know, the podcast was a good thing. I listened to that while I was going to college. Well, physically, it don't hit the same when you're home, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I've listened to that. I've enjoyed the podcast. It was a very good time. And then recently we have seen the stuff, you know, the energy was off. Him and Rory had some issues. It sounded nasty. And then we seen his thing. He told him take a break. They disappeared for like a month, a couple weeks, a month plus. And now they're back and we had the whole situation. Now, coming from both sides, basically, as what I took from their explanation was, you know, yeah, everybody noticed how nasty it was. Joe told Rory to stay home. He didn't explain himself very well. Apparently, he was just sending exclamation marks and emojis, which, if you want somebody, first of all, your friend or your employee, whatever the fuck you want to say, regardless, you want this person to stay home. Why not explain to him to stay home instead of sending an exclamation mark or an emoji? That makes no fucking sense. And I could see from Rory's perspective, like, nigga, what the fuck is he talking about? But he said he was mad, he was whatever, he just got on the plane and he was kicking, he was chilling. He's like, I hit him when I hit him. I'm not gonna hit him, because he was getting frustrated. Cool. Mal's perspective was like, bro, we're all on this podcast. I have say, Park have say, you have say, Rory have say. So if you want this to happen, and he's like, yeah, I seen that shit, yeah. But like, you gotta kind of have to talk to us about it. And it was weird. And then Joe was like, yo, the podcast doesn't concern you. You don't need to know what's going on. So Ma's like, what the fuck? Now, this is the thing about Ma, right? This is the thing. Like, I love all these niggas on the podcast. But Ma is the real nigga for me that I appreciate. Because sometimes y'all niggas be bugging and you need a nigga that does not follow the trend. Like, say, oh, yeah, I be spinning the females more. Joe's like, yeah, I be spinning the females more. Oh, yeah, I be tricking on hoes. Yeah, yeah. And all you just, yeah, fucking doing his little Harlem shaking shit. I was just like, nigga, what the fuck you doing? Niggas don't do this shit. The fuck you want? Like, and I appreciate that real nigga character that's like, not every nigga on this type of wave. Like, I appreciate it. But like, the thing about Ma is Ma never gave a fuck about podcasting. You could just tell from the nigga aura, even in the beginning. He don't really give a fuck. Nigga, if you tell this nigga vacation, this nigga don't shit. At one point, this nigga was joking like, let's go back to one episode a week. Shit. I'd have to go to New York and RKO this nigga, because I fuck with the 2 episodes. I'll have to go to New York, RKO this nigga, and probably get beat up by the Harlem niggas. The choir. Get beat up by his choir while they sing to me and beat my ass up. You know, fucking take my ass back to Toronto afterwards. But anyways, it was what it was. You could tell that out from the gate. So when Joe talking to him like that, and you just know Mal is a respectful nigga. And honestly, I can understand, because if a nigga disrespect me, I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna sit here and listen to your bullshit. I'm gonna leave. I'm saying, fuck that. So I can understand that perspective as well, or how he dealt with his shit. I'm not saying it 100% right. I'm not saying that, but I could see how his thinking went that way. And this is the thing about Joe. I feel like they have been friends too long, because it is kind of hard for friends to be business associates. Now, Parks broke it down. Remember that one podcast where we were initially like, well, where are these niggas, right? And Parks broke it down like, yeah, sometimes I can't talk to Joe like that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't be friends and do business. You might have to get other motherfuckers to do business with each other. And that might have to be the case, because maybe it might fuck up your friendship. You might need a third party to handle that business shit for y'all, or y'all just bullshitting. And that's what it might have to be. Now again, with the stuff, I don't know the rumors about Rory going through a hard time at home and the DJ Academics exposing he cheated on his girl shit. I don't know if that plays a thing into here. Maybe he doesn't want to discuss it on here. That's fair. That could have also been a factor. I personally don't know. I'm not in that nigga social life like that, and I'm too lazy to really go through this nigga Instagram. Like, does he still follow Sam? Does he still follow Sam? Did they delete their pictures together? I ain't got time for all that bullshit. I'm sorry. But anyways, that happened. Now the way Joe talks, and see, yes, Joe is a narcissist and he has an ego. Yes, we all know this is very documented sometimes. Like, even sometimes when he's talking, I'm just like, man, nigga, shut up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with a nigga. But it's like, all of them in this situation, well, I don't even know. Parts was neutral, but all of them in this situation kind of had an ego, or they were just like, nah, I'm gonna stand on what I stand on. It could have been resolved differently, of course, but probably now we're hearing various things, you know. And I get Maul's perspective as well, but I'm like, yo, y'all gotta leave the friendship out of it at some point. This is a business, right? Because he's like, bro, when you're wrong, which I do respect. When you're wrong, you're wrong. So I'm not writing for Rory. It's like, yo, nigga, you was wrong for that. So yeah, I just took up for who, like, I was fucking with at the time. Doesn't mean I fuck with you less, but I fought with you, but like, you was wrong. And also, when Joe was coming at them in a business mind, which I get it, y'all, businesses is very fucking lucrative. Everybody fucks with the podcast. Everybody wanted them back. We seen when they disappeared. Everybody's like, where's Rory Mal? Bring them back. Bring them back. Bring the boys together. Everybody was like that, and it was what it was. Also, I ain't gonna lie, I seen Charlemagne clowning Mal and them when they came back. Hey, I ain't gonna cap. Y'all got some hatred, boys. I ain't gonna cap. Or some niggas looking at you and not in the fondest light. That's all I gotta say about it. But hey, it is what it is. But it was what it was. Now I get, yeah, Joe's a narcissist. It is highly documented. But again, it's hard with business and friendship. And honestly, that's what I took from it. And maybe honestly, anytime there's some slight or there's a disagreement or a motherfucker ain't like what the next motherfucker say, y'all might have to talk about this shit real quick. Like, see, yeah, and then maybe because I more, like, as a person relate to, like, how Maul give up his shit, like, how you give it up. I'm like, yeah, I see how Maul is. But then I can also understand perspective, like, this is like my longest friend, why the fuck you not riding for me? Because, yeah, there's situations I've been, like, you know when you're dealing with a chick sometimes? I ain't calling Joe a chick, but you know when you're dealing with a chick sometimes, and they beefing with their friend, you ain't trying to get into it, so you gonna rock with the shorty, but then when y'all ass go home, you like, shorty, you was wrong for that, but I'm gonna just rock with you because I was rock with you. Yeah, but like, y'all just a big collective of friends, so I could also see the fact of, nigga, we just a big group of niggas. We all friends, we all homies. Fuck all that shit. Nigga, you wrong for that. So I could also see that. You know what I'm saying? But it was what it was. Yeah. But I feel like Joe was just on the thing, like, yo, we lived together so long, like, how you not wrong? I'm like, nigga, that don't mean shit, nigga, you could be wrong. Who give a fuck about all that bullshit? Like, no disrespect. I don't know all the trials and tribulations you have all went through shit. I might have went through some real nigga shit that to the point is like, nigga, you? You know what I'm saying? So it was what it was. At the end of the day, I'm just happy they are all back and back together. Now, they've had their talk. Apparently, this nigga and Rory went to therapy. They have had their talk. They met at somewhere. I don't know if it was Joe's house or where the fuck they met. Parks was mediating, and it was what it was. And now we got these niggas back, and it's all it is. Now, of course, us as the audience, we wanted some clarity because, yo, we fuck with these niggas. These niggas help us get through our day. You know, shit. Like, nigga, they make our days brighter. So, of course, we're sitting here like, bro, where the fuck are these other two niggas? Listen, no disrespect to Ice and Ish, but, like, that ain't the team. The chemistry's great. And honestly, listen to some of this shit Ice and Ish said. They ain't bad. To keep it a buck. Because Ma was like, man, y'all was doing some corny ass shit. So I'm just like, okay. Okay, nigga. Hey, listen, I ain't mind Ice and Ish like that. It was what it was. Also, when the fuck was Westside Gun and Ice beefing? When did this shit happen? Anyways. And that's, I wouldn't say that's mostly it. There's more. There's all the steps. This nigga was in Atlanta doing this. Or this nigga was over here doing this. Blah, 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 blue. I just really want to, like, maybe I have to be Joe. Like, I don't know how he really was like, yo, you was really riding for Rory Mal. Like, I get it, but then I was also like, nigga, you wrong in this situation though. Y'all all a collective of friends. It's not really like I'm riding. It wasn't serious beef. Like y'all niggas can never come back from this shit. This some little shit. Now maybe again, I'm from a different walk of life compared to these four men. I'm just talking about the niggas that talk. I know there's more people in the room. Shout out to Savon, Erickson, and Alex. But anyways, is Alex a great cameraman, screen man, whatever his name is? Anyways, but it was what it was. Like, nigga, you ain't always gonna be on your homie side. Your homie might do some fuck shit like, nigga, that wrong. Like, it is what it is. No matter how long y'all niggas know each other. But it is what it is. At the end of the day. I just ain't really understand that shit, to keep it a book. But honestly, they're back here. And it's hard, bro. It's hard. And honestly, Miles, like, respect. Imagine going to work and a nigga don't respect you. You gonna leave eventually. Or you gonna find a new job and you gonna say, yo, fuck this job. Y'all niggas be running me ragged. Y'all be doing some fuck shit. And I'm gonna go somewhere else. It is what it is. I'm not saying he would go. But then, yeah, you talk to a nigga who doesn't really give a fuck about podcasting. I'm not gonna lie, even though Rory explained the see here the thing when you went on that podcast and he was talking and shit, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It was what it was. Hey, if that's your interpretation, that's your interpretation. It is what it is. And honestly, that's it. As long as they're still here and they're still doing podcast, I have no mind in that. I have no problem with that. I missed them. And we're going to get back to normal. It is what it is. I just feel, hey, some shit might have to change up. I still do feel like Joe. More clarity. Because this is how I fuck with Joe. But, like, if you would not explain why you don't want a nigga to come in, what type of bullshit is that? You at least owe the nigga an explanation. What type of bullshit is that? There has to be more conversation. More clarity, and it is what on all sides. I'm not even pointing the finger at Joe, but like if you are disgruntled about something, so yo, I don't like that you did this. Okay, but what exactly did I do? And you just said an exclamation mark and some emojis. It's like, nigga, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck you saying? Or call the nigga then. But hey, I digress. It is what it is. They're back together. Now I'm mad at it. Hey, and we'll see if the podcast gets 100% back to normal. You know what I'm saying? I haven't watched a new episode. The last episode I watched, these niggas were airing out their grievances or explaining to us what exactly the fuck happened. And it is what it is. But anyways, hey, you know what it is? It's been K.A. Hopefully that gave you some insight to it. I still feel like Joe kind of caused some bullshit in this, ain't gonna lie. That ego, I feel Joe got the biggest ego in that room, ain't gonna cap. I fuck with a nigga. And he broke it down because he was never in that position. He was kind of explaining like, yeah, the show must go on. Like, even when I was a rapper, the show must go on. Even my bullshit with Jay and all this shit. Like, niggas was like, so, da, 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 da. Like, he broke his shit down. And I understood because he was always in the entertainment. And these niggas, like, yeah, they're in the entertainment, but, like, this nigga was like a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But I still feel like, yeah, you kind of got an ego with your shit, nigga. It is what it is. And it's like, y'all niggas friends. Like, yeah, it's a contract, but this your dog at the end of the day. Like, this your nigga at the end of the day. There has to be a line. I feel like there just has to be a line, and there has to be more communication. And if a nigga get mad, you better just talk about this shit. It's easier. You know what I'm saying? Cause, like, y'all might be as close as however, but y'all can't read a nigga mind. You might just be joking. The next nigga might have took offense to this shit. It is what it is. Now, again, I don't know how much the academic shit has played into the Rory thing. Because maybe he did have issues at home. Who knows? I think I ain't gonna lie. I think so. If I'm gonna speculate, I do think some of that might be something. I don't know if Sam left him, like how academic says, but hey. I digress. It is what it is, but the boys are back in town. And that's good enough for me. But anyways, if you like this video, like, subscribe, help your boy grow. I just saved y'all some time. Instead of going to go watch 3 hours. And I know they would be happy because they little AdSense and shit. But anyways, man, I'm off for this man. Slimes on. Peace, y'all. Else, guy. Aye.